it was full on. No matter how many of these videos you watch, until you're there, you don't get it.
Hey everyone, this is Brody from Outperform Fitness and welcome to another Tactical Career Chat. So tonight we're chatting to Cam, who's just enlisted into the Army Reserves as an infantry soldier at the age of 40. And he's just got back from Kapooka. So we're going to walk through his journey from why he made the call later in life to enlist, what it was like with the lead up to Kapooka, and what Kapooka was actually like with the good, the bad, and some of the funny stuff in between. So just a quick disclaimer before we get started is that this career chat is presented as a personal experience and is not on behalf of the Australian Defence Force. Awesome. Cam, mate, appreciate you jumping on board. Pretty fresh out of Kapooka and ready to go. So it sounds like you got some pretty good stories to share throughout this, and we'll go through it right from the start all the way through to the end. So let's start off with, well, actually, happy birthday. So it was your birthday yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah, 41.
Yeah, so you just hit 41. So you went through Kapooka and all the enlistment and everything at 40. So, yeah, before you pulled the trigger on this at 40, what was life looking for you previous to this?
Just working away all the time, just FIFO work, which is where I am now, back in camp. So working underground and, yeah, just been something I wanted to do for a long time. So finally thought I'd do something about it.
And what do you do at the mine?
I'm a tunneler. So I just
sweet.
work 6.5 Ks underground and just run pipe systems or grout systems. Nothing too exciting.
Yeah, pretty physical though?
Yeah, long days, physical. So that part of Kapooka I was ready for, which is good.
Yeah, awesome. So Army, that was always on your mind to join, was it?
Yes. Yeah, since I was little. So as soon as I found out they relaxed the tattoo policy, I jumped straight on. So,
the tattoo, that's the thing that
that was the biggest hold up. So just my hand and neck, because I think I've had my hands tattooed for the last 20 years. So that was just the disqualifying factor back then. So I just put it on the back burner and waited, I guess.
Right. Yeah, so that's the only reason you haven't joined.
Yeah.
Literally, sweet. And what did they relax exactly with the tattoos?
They made it case-by-case basis. So if you scored high enough in your aptitude and you obviously didn't have anything offensive, it was just based on recruitment, really, what they wanted to do, and then it'd go through the few channels. I think I had to get 4 or 5 waivers all the way through, right up until a week before enlistment.
Yeah. And was that a pretty long process, getting those waivers?
Not really, because I scored pretty well on my initial assessment. So I got the first one straight away as soon as I got the results. And then it was just going up the chain, I think. I don't know how high it went up, but I had to send photos and what they were and what they meant and all that sort of stuff, which was fine because it's nothing offensive on there. But
because I'm sure, as you said, case by case, and would all depend on what those tattoos actually are.
I think so. And your attitude as well. I think if you carry yourself like like you're a bit of an idiot, you don't really stand a chance either. So I've heard of people getting knocked back for less tattoos. I've definitely seen some knockbacks that, like a lot less than what you've got. That's for sure. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because I remember when I joined, it was pretty much if you got your polys on, your long sleeve shirt, if you could see tattoos, then that's, pretty much a no-go.
Yeah, wow.
So that's all changed now. Yeah. So no neck tattoos, though. My mate actually got one when he was in. He got one on the back of his ear, and they made him laser it off. I actually got asked by the sergeant on range day. He actually said to me, he's like, "Recruit, why do you have so many tattoos?" And I just said, "Oh," and he goes, "Is it past life?" I said, "No, it's just a skateboarder." He just laughed and thought it was hilarious. So it's pretty good about it. Yeah, nice. Awesome. Well, it's good that, they allowed it. And so you could actually fulfill that dream that you've had in the back of your mind for this long. So did age, because obviously, getting up to 40, well, you're hitting 40 now. So did that ever play on your mind now that it was later on and you're trying to join?
I sort of worried that I wouldn't be accepted, I guess. I always knew physically I'd be okay, except for the run part. Obviously, that's where I come to you for the help. But I just worried that being my age, it'd sort of just be, pushed to the side or whatever, but it wasn't like that at all. There was people older than what I was by about 15 years, and they still smashed it. They actually scored higher in PFA than a lot of the 20-year-old guys. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool.
insane. Yeah, I see some of those old guys going through, like Greg. He was one of ours. He went through, and he was still smashing out level 11 on the beep test, pumping out 40 push-ups, and he was 60. Like he was, I think when he joined, he was 58, 59. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. Well, run us through your timeline from applying. So it was, and like you're applying, enlisting, and then through to Kapooka just recently this year.
Yeah, I think it was January or February I applied last year, did the JOA, and then went through the interviews. It was about every month something would happen. Yeah. And then I enlisted in August last year. I missed the boat for the October Kapooka, and then it just didn't work out in November or whatever, and missed January's Kapooka. So I've just been waiting ready. And then when they gave me the call up for March, I was like, just get me there and let's get it done.
Yeah.
Move out of the Rick and get into the real stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Get into the actual job. So what were you doing in the meantime while you're waiting to go off to Kapooka?
Trying to stay motivated. So fitness wise, because I got super fit and I was ready for November, and then I got a bit disheartened when I couldn't go. So slacked off for a month, and just had to keep that mind frame of, it'll happen eventually. You've waited this long, just keep at it.
That's it. And you can't be too fit.
No, that's right. And work kills time too. I'm away for 2 weeks. So every time I get back, it was sort of another month gone. And then all of a sudden I was a couple of days out and I was freaking out.
It's actually happening.
Yeah, it was a bit surreal when you get the letter and then you get the itinerary and you're like, oh crap, now I've got to go.
Yeah, that's it. Can't back out now.
No.
Well, what was the reaction like from all the people around you when you said when you did actually enlist?
Oh, they were good. They were really supportive. They were actually quite surprised because it's not something I talk about to the boys at work too often. Just because, it's just how it is out here, I guess. It's can be pretty brutal at times, and you sort of, if you say something like that, you're going to be judged on everything. You make a mistake at work and all of a sudden you're not fit for the army, so I kept it to myself and just kept doing my own thing. And then when I actually said I was going, they were actually really supportive. The ones who I thought wouldn't care were the ones that asked the most questions. It was good.
Awesome.
And work was really good with leave and everything like that. So
you've probably inspired some of the other boys to join.
Yeah, there's one guy actually, he does ultra marathons and he's keen as. I keep saying to him, just hurry up and get it done. Otherwise a year will tick past and you still won't have even done your initial application. So
it takes time.
Oh yeah, I said expect a year. Most people I met down there was a year. We were some that enlisted in February and they were already at Kapooka in March. Just jagged a spot, really lucky. So that was pretty cool. So they didn't have time to be nervous. Ended up there.
Just pump through it.
Yeah.
Well, at any point, was anyone doubting your decision at all, or everyone was pretty supportive?
I guess the guys that don't really know me, I guess they were sort of like, what are you doing that for? Have fun in Iran was a pretty common one I got before I left.
Nice.
As you can imagine, all the silly comments. And I just laughed. I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But got to get through it.
You get a lot of stuff from people that really have no idea. It's always going to be there. Like with my stuff being all over Facebook, man, I cop it, and I used to fight back with it a lot and just be a smart ass with it and things like that. But now I just leave it. I just don't even bother.
So I have to bite my tongue a few times.
It's sure.
It's tough.
Yeah,
you know the reasons why you're joining.
Exactly.
Really
No, that's right. Everyone's got their own like their 2 cents that they want to put in, and they have no idea themselves. So,
and now that
always
I'm back,
the keyboard warriors.
Yeah, there's plenty of them, and now that I'm back and what I've been through, I actually look at some of the people different. I think you wouldn't even survive the first morning wake up.
Good luck. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, so a little bit of preparation and training leading up to Kapooka. So you trained with us for around about a year. So you've been with us for over a year now. So yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Yeah.
What made you reach out to start off with to get some training from us rather than just doing it yourself?
I knew I didn't know where to start with my running, and the same thing as everyone, seen the YouTube videos, seen the Instagram, and it kept popping up in my feed, and just got more and more curious. And I went, I've got to pull the trigger now before it's too late. The run component was massive for me. I don't think I've ran since high school, and cardio wasn't really on the agenda with gym. And it showed when I started. I think I was just doing the 5-minute warm-up runs. I was like, I can't even run for 5 minutes without wanting to just pack it in. It was embarrassing.
Catches up to you when you don't do it.
No, definitely. And then the first beep test I think I tried out here was like 4.5, and I went, there's guys that live on the couch and they're getting in 6 and 7, so I'm doing something wrong. So just kept at it and improved.
Yeah, that's it. And it just takes time. That's all it is. And you want to give yourself enough time to be able to do it properly, because a big thing when we're, especially, the running side of things, is conditioning yourself to running, like building up that tolerance so that then you can actually build some fitness from it. Because that's those initial things that you're training is just really your tolerance to be able to do more running, just because it is a big impact on the body. But when it's done right, you can do it. Like, we're built to run, and if you do it right, you can handle a lot of running.
And even the breathing videos that you've done with the combat breathing, that plays a big part, not just in running, but in stress response as well.
Yeah,
like they even were touching on that down at Kapooka, and I thought, I know, it's shooting, everything like that. It comes in handy. So
for sure.
It's good.
Yeah, across the board. Yeah. And when you start to learn that stuff, it's that's it. You can apply it in different areas. It's not just, targeted towards whatever. And I even tell people to use it for cold showers, like get in cold showers and practice it in there. And
definitely.
It's a good way to practice.
I started doing a bit of resilience training with the interval training I was doing with you. I started doing things like, I knew I needed to learn the phonetic alphabet and things like that. So when I was at the end of my interval and I was completely gassed, I'd make myself recite the phonetic alphabet. And it sounds silly, but geez, it helps so much, because you're under so much stress already. Your heart rate's nearly at 180. And you try and say the alphabet properly, it was testing, but it paid off.
For sure.
It's good.
Yeah, and I'm sure anyone out there that's done some sort of hard training, like, you get the brain fog, you can't do things properly. Like, even in the gym, like, you finish a heavy set and you're trying to calculate the weights on the bar, and you're just like, I don't even know what that is. Simple tasks become very difficult. And it's just that self-induced stress, and it mimics what you could be doing, in the tactical environment under a whole heap of pressure, and your body still reacts to that stress in the same way. And doing those simple tasks, like you said, starting to be able to still remember the alphabet, like the phonetic alphabet and everything like that, plays a role, especially the phonetic alphabet when you're learning all the comms and everything. It's
all those little things that I was doing when I was super stressed. I found, with the morning routines like down there, it got to the stage where you could laugh and joke, even though you knew you had to be flat out. You could still have a good time with your roommates because you could handle the stress. Whereas the first week, your heart rate must be at 160 when you open your eyes, because you just know you're in for it.
Well, they're yelling at you right at the start.
Yeah, it's full on.
Yeah. All right. Well, looking back now, how important do you reckon it was having more structure rather than just winging it yourself with your training?
Massive. You're not doubling up on things, burning yourself out and doing excessive loads. And I say to everyone, and I think I've recommended a few people, even down there, to yourself, and you don't really realize until you do it yourself how effective the training is. Like, I've doubled my beep test, my push-ups are great, my sit-ups are maxed out, and I just know within myself, little things at work, I notice I'm fine. Didn't gas out once down at Kapooka. I had no issues whatsoever with physical fitness, and it was really good to see all the stuff that I've done the last 12 months actually pay off. So even down to the battle PT when we were doing that,
For
I was
sure.
one of the ones that was smiling because I was like, I can do this. This is easy compared to what I've put myself through lately.
Quick pause for a second. If you're serious about joining the ADF, don't just aim to scrape through the fitness tests. The entry standard is the bare minimum. It's not the standard you need to actually thrive at Kapooka or back at your unit. That's exactly why I created the Fit for Service training plan. It's structured, progressive, and built specifically for ADF applicants who want to turn up confident, not hoping. If that's you, check out the link in the description. Let's get you prepared properly. All right, let's get back to the chat. Yeah, that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, that's really good. And like you touched on before, quality training. Like when you know what you're meant to be doing through the week and targeting certain things, you don't just need to fill it with a whole heap of junk volume and just be crushing yourself every week and really not going anywhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've obviously, because all your stuff's recorded on the app, you can see how far you've come throughout the year as well. You can see the last, and that's a good thing for me to look at too, because I go, oh, well, if you do feel like, putting in half an effort, you look at what you've done, you're like, well, I've got to lift more than that. That was 3 months ago. So hold yourself accountable, which is cool. Yeah,
mate, I still do it. I don't have a coach, and I've been doing it for years and years. And yeah, even this afternoon, I was doing like the seated shoulder press and looking back through, and because I went to select a weight, and then I was like, oh, hang on, what have I done in the past? I'm like, oh, damn it, I can't do that because I'm going backwards. Yeah,
exactly right.
No, it definitely pays off. So physically, you're pretty solid. What about mentally? Did you think, like we were talking about before, so mentally the training helped in that aspect as well?
Yeah, for sure. When everyone else was whinging about being tired and hot, I was still fine. And the long days, I think my job's 12 and a half hours as well, and it drags out to longer than that. But between that and the training made a huge difference. I could see the difference between the people that worked 8 hours a day or 3 days a week and trained once or twice a week to people that had structured training. Massive difference.
All kids just out of high school. They've never had a job in their life.
There was a few that still worked at places like KFC and stuff, and they actually did really well. I found when it comes to lessons, they take stuff in and they remember it in seconds.
Yeah.
Whereas someone my age is like, what did you say?
Can you say that 5 more times for me?
And it doesn't matter how many times you read it, you're still like, I don't get this. You're essentially getting waterboarded with information, and you're trying your hardest to keep up. And I've got 40 years of memories to push to the side. So it's a lot.
I got the same thing trying to learn stuff now. It's nowhere near as easy as you can still learn it, but it just takes that little bit more effort. You've actually you can't just go through just listening to it on the side anymore. It's you actually got to focus and
watch one really demo and you expected to know, and it's like, nah. So I don't know. My advice is, if you've got hard stuff you do at work or things that you avoid, just do them. Because down there, you're going to be put in positions where you can't say no. You can't run away from it. It's there, and you're doing it, and there's teamwork, and you'll get help. But a lot of it's obviously solo. So there's nowhere to go. You don't have a choice.
You got to learn that skill of just understanding there's something that you need to do and just doing it. Like you flicking off that switch, like that emotional switch of, oh, I don't want to do this, and you're just doing it.
That was the hardest thing for me, I think, was at my age, I like to wake up and already know how to do it. And that's one thing the guys that I went through with will tell you. I had a meltdown here and there, and they thought it was hilarious because I'm like, I need to just wake up and know how to do this. I don't have time to learn. Like, just take a breath, take a step back. I was so frustrated with myself.
I could imagine. Well, let's get on to Kapooka now. So your first impression side of things. So what was that first day like rocking up for you?
Yeah, wow. It was full on. No matter how many of these videos you watch, until you're there, you don't get it. I thought, I'll know what to expect. No. So when you're standing on the parade ground, when you get there and everyone's out there and you're getting addressed, and it starts from there. But everyone happy. It's very quiet, like I thought we would. Everyone was still talking, happy and whatever. But once you got your bags and you got onto the parade ground, that's when it got real, and it just got more and more from there.
Yeah.
So it was,
Escalates very quickly.
yeah. It's a lot to take in, no matter what position you've put yourself in the past. It's got nothing compared to this. But the good thing is you can handle it. You can do it. Your body's made for it. Your mind's made for it. You just got to know how to cope. And just hope you've got a really good platoon like I had. I had an awesome bunch of people. I was very lucky.
Makes a difference for sure.
Oh, yeah.
So what do you reckon? Because when I went through, we had no social media. We had no YouTube videos we can watch or anything like that. So when we rocked up, it was like, what is going on? I've never experienced this in my life, and I've never seen it before. Do you reckon, I've never thought about this before, but do you reckon it'd be better that way, not knowing and just rocking up and going with it, or actually having some sort of insight and yes, like expecting it to be bad, at least not knowing what it's going to be like, but at least expecting it?
I think it depends on your personality. I have a personality that I like to know 6 months in advance what's going to happen. I'm so used to planning. Gets you absolutely no. I found 3 when I had no idea on. That was the best because I couldn't be anxious about anything. I didn't worry about anything. I just focused on one task at a time, 1 hour at a time, one meal at a time. And I found it a lot easier that way than trying to mentally prepare in your head what was happening each day. So I think if you didn't know what you're in for, you're going to get a shock, but you'll adjust to it quicker.
Yeah.
Whereas I think sometimes the insight can build up unwanted anxiety because you're going to get dodgy advice. You're going to hear horror stories which aren't true. It's I know there was guys in my platoon that thought it was hilarious. They were going to tell the guys at the Rick some random stuff and just funny. And I was like, oh, don't do that.
Clear them up. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've never thought about that. Yeah, like when you've got all this knowledge of what you're about to go into, it sort of helps you in a way, but at the same time, it's sort of preempting the stress. Whereas if you don't know what's happening, it's just like you sort of just take it as it comes.
Yeah, that's right. You just go with it. And I found that was good. The lack of phone, didn't know what time it was, didn't know what day it was. Some of the boys would just write when they started in their notepads and just cross off the days and just things like that. If someone said, oh, we've still got 17 days to go, that just broke everyone's heart. You don't do that to each other. That's torture.
Yeah. You just take each day as it comes. The first portion of it will feel like forever. And then at the end, you'll be like, oh, that went pretty quick.
Yeah, which is exactly what's happening now. I think I'm 2 weeks out now, and it still feels like yesterday I got off the plane.
Yeah,
so it's
for sure.
Surreal.
Well, you did mention that it was the whole experience was stressful, but rewarding at the same time. What sort of made it feel like that?
Oh, I learned so much about myself. It just, as I said to the guys, and the guys in my platoon will tell you, I didn't realize how much I run away from a challenge if I don't know how to do it because I'm scared of failing until we started getting tested for med and range and things like that. And I had nowhere to go. So I had to get it done and focus. And then I thought to myself about other situations in life where I've just gone, oh, that's too hard. I'm not going to do it because I don't know how and I don't want to look silly or I don't want to fail. That was my biggest thing. Didn't want to fail anything. And having that support network and a bit of a structured plan to attack it helps so much.
No choice.
No choice is the main one. You can't run. There's nowhere to go. There's literally nowhere to go. We used to say our room was our safe space, but every now and again that again invaded. So it is there. It was actually just little things about discipline and the morning routine, all that sort of stuff. I'm pretty good working away with, so you're self-sufficient anyway. And being my age, I've lived out of home since I was 17. So, but I found, just my whole attitude when I come back. Appreciated everything a lot more. I knew myself a lot better than when I went, which was amazing. My family appreciated me more, which was cool because, that's always a nice feeling.
Yeah.
So I'd say just do it. Just suck it up, get through it. By week 2, it gets better. It does really get better.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and your confidence to be able to go after something that you don't know how to do to start with definitely goes through the roof, because you know they're going to train you, or you're going to figure it out, because it's
Yeah,
the
that's right.
same with everything. Like that, when you very first started, it's just so daunting. Like you have no idea how to do it, but by the
Well,
end of it, you're just smashing it out.
yeah, and they're really big on reps too. The training
Mm.
is amazing. Like no matter what anyone says, they really put in as much time as they can with you. Obviously, depending on who you've got, we got really lucky, apparently. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just rep after rep. You know, when everything's died down at night, we'd get called into the foyer. They'd ask if there was any questions from the day, from the lessons, and they'd run through it again, or we'd do more weapons practice. So we got those extra little bits and pieces that just made everyone's experience a lot better. I feel.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, just picking up on those little loose ends. Yeah, that'd definitely
Yeah,
help for sure. Well, being one of the older guys there, how did that play out early on?
that was pretty funny because we were the old room straight up. So which the youngest guy in my room was about I think 35,
Yeah.
and the rest was sort of 50, 55, and then myself was a room of four. So we had people constantly coming to our room for advice, for help. We'd get our room done and our timings done, and then we'd go and spread out and go and help everyone else, you know. So it actually worked out pretty well. A lot of the things too, I don't think some of the boys had ever lived out of home. So it was a
Yeah.
bit of a shock to have to have your room in order, like inspection order. I don't think they really understood what that meant. It's quite funny. They'd come out half dressed, or the bed was still just horrible. In being older and having life experience definitely made it easier, I
Yeah,
feel.
for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely like you notice the guys that have never really been put through anything hard. Like they're still living at home, they haven't had a job yet, they're just out of high school sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely tell. Some of them thrive. Like it's definitely not a bad thing. Like you said, some of them are really good. But you can definitely tell.
Yeah. And most of our boys were really good. Like they picked up on things straight away and handled it.
Yeah,
We honestly had a really good platoon, good bunch of
that's
people.
good. Awesome. Yeah, well, you were mentioning one of the biggest things was the camaraderie side of things as one of your big standouts. So, what did that look like day to day? Like, how did that come into play?
It's quite surreal. You don't notice it's happening until after. So when obviously you're on timings to do everything, and little things like when you're getting dressed, if you're sort of struggling to put your boots on or something, someone else is already trying to tuck in your shirt, put your patches on. It
Yeah,
just comes down to the little things that you wouldn't do out here. You know, you wouldn't go and tuck someone's random shirt in if they were struggling. They'd look at you funny. Whereas there, you know that you're going to get in trouble if you're not ready when you walk out to that hallway. So little things like that, making sure each other's lockers were locked,
yeah,
stuff was clean, everyone was doing everyone else's washing. Just it was really good. Sharing snacks, that was a big one for me. I have never seen people share like what we did. I mean, I'm talking the smallest biscuits you've ever seen, and they were getting broken into four. Just little things like that made it enjoyable. And
yeah,
someone always had extra snacks. They always had a stash. So it was,
yeah.
yeah, it
Good,
was
love
amazing.
it. No, that's awesome. So you're mentioning the morning routine, and you got that down to under 10 minutes, and just and cruising through it. So how long did that take for you guys to get that to click and smash that out?
I think we were making our timings at the start. Obviously, being a bit older, I don't know. We were sort of trying to be as organised as we were allowed to be the night before. Obviously,
Yeah,
there's certain things you just don't do. Um, but yeah, I guess we just fed off each other really and
yeah,
helped each other out to the point where we all made it, and then it just got quicker and quicker. So we found ourselves when we had a certain timing, we'd have 2 minutes where we'd just go around and double check, or we'd run across the hallway and see if anyone else needed their bed sorted. Or so yeah, the things like that. Well, actually, made it way less stressful. If you
yeah,
knew that you could make that timing, you didn't wake up with your heart through the roof straight away.
yeah,
You were just like, oh yeah, I've got this. And you also knew once that was done, it was breakfast time. So you had
yeah,
time to breathe, not much time, but you had enough time to breathe and feel normal. and then come back and start your day. So yeah, as you can imagine.
Yeah. So for those that are out there that don't know, it's like you're going right from the start. So as Cam was saying, like you're getting yelled at to get out of your bed. You've got your sheet over your shoulders. you stand in the hallway, and then from there you're just into morning routine, like smashing everything out. It doesn't stop.
No, you are running for your life. There's no walking. If you're not running, you're marching. And if you are not organized, like even down to when you go to shave and stuff, just be organized. Check each other's shirts, because that minute where you'll get held up and get ripped into, that could cost you being dressed when it's all time to come out. So
just and time off your mess, your eating time.
Yeah, that was the biggest thing. When we got down to being more independent and marching over by ourselves, the timings were easy because we weren't relying on the slower people anymore.
Yeah.
So work hard as a team to get to that point. It makes a massive difference that's when the shift starts. Everything starts to change. Doesn't feel as stressful. You're on your own time within reason. So if you eat fast, you've still got 10 to 15 minutes where you can do, your other activities, or even just sit down and just breathe for a bit before the day starts.
Let everything catch up for a second.
Yeah.
Well, when did you feel you went from this random group of people to actually feeling like a bit of a team working together?
Probably the first week with my group. The whole platoon was sort of in the second week, I feel.
Yeah.
You really notice people that you didn't even know were there in the second week were coming over and helping. And there was, So I think it was sort of the first week with us guys, maybe the first 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
You sort of realize that you're all in the same boat. And that's when I think a good turning point for me too was, because no matter how stressed I was, sometimes I seen someone else getting ripped into, and as sick as it sounds, that made me feel better, because I was like, oh, sweet, it's not me today, so I'm good. I'm good to go.
That's it. Yeah, for sure.
and then by the end, it was a bit of a laugh, if someone's getting yelled at for stuff that they should have had down already. So a lot of it was self-inflicted. It was quite comical. So, you'd have everyone to be at the door listening in and having a bit of a laugh.
Yeah.
Those little moments are what you need.
Yeah. And once you get used to it all, even the guy standing on the line getting yelled at, once he gets back to his room, you're having a laugh over it as well. So it's, it's all around. It's not just everyone laughing at them. Most of the time.
No. There was a couple of guys that were just in trouble the whole time, which is unfortunate. But by the end of it, I think they had pretty thick skin. Yeah. And it was more just, you stop laughing and you're just like, do you like getting yelled at? Maybe if you started listening, you wouldn't be on the admin line.
Good. Well, every platoon's got to have those people. They're the heat seekers.
Yeah. They were all in one room in ours.
Oh, really? Yeah.
3 out of 4 of them. If they watch, I'll know who they are.
It's like contagious.
Funny.
All right, let's get on to some highlights from Kapooka. So you said the range days were a big highlight for you. So what made them so good?
Oh, it's just being able to feel normal. You're lining up obviously to shoot or whatever, but they had a truck fill up with coffees and biscuits and lollies and a couple of old fellas that sort of put a bit of morale back into everyone. Being with the other platoon too, you got to meet a few new people, and there was no pressure up at the shed. You might have been up there for a few hours where you could just be a normal person. Then you go down, you do your shoot, you come back, you do it all again. So it was just nice. And it was nice to be outside, be out and about. Obviously working underground, I've seen more sun at Kapooka than I have in the last 2.5 years. So it was great for me.
You'd be feeling awesome. Bit of vitamin D.
I loved it. When everyone else was whinging about the sun, I'm like, I am enjoying this so much. You have no idea. Half the time I don't even know if it's day or night or if it's snowing or what. So
crazy. I remember when I was there, so I was in the middle of summer, and range days, they were good, but holy shit, the flies there were
really
absolutely insane. And we had one guy, and he'd never shoo the flies away, and you just see him crawling in his nose and they're like swarms of them. It's not like a couple. You're just like, you're looking at him like, want to shoo him away.
Oh, we must have
But
got
yeah,
lucky.
I was going to say we'd have him on the parade ground and everything. So you'd be standing there at attention. You just hear it going,
Oh,
trying to get them out of their nose and their mouth.
yuck. No, I didn't cop that, thankfully. I don't, yeah. I mean, it gets bad out of work if you are outside for a little bit, but I don't know how I would have went with that extra stress. That would have been full on.
Yeah, it's not fun when you got freaking on the parade ground and you got flies crawling up your nostrils and you can't move.
I think I got done twice for moving when I thought no one was looking. Just the old zip check, making sure my pockets were done up. I swear they've got eyes in the back of their head.
Good. All right. Well, any other like awesome standout moments where you thought, this is unreal?
Probably the battle PT that we done as well.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty cool. It was absolutely freezing. It rained. We marched all the way there in the rain, all the way back in the rain, and did all the PT in the rain. And there was probably a foot of water on the soccer field, and we were doing leopard crawls and all this other. And I remember looking up the skies going, I'm uncomfortable as hell and freezing, but this is awesome. Like, this is to me, army years. It's in a classroom, you're outside. Everyone was having a great time despite being absolutely frozen to the point where you could barely hold your water bottle. And I remember getting back and trying to even just get undressed. You couldn't even undo your buttons. You were that frozen.
Yeah.
Just little things like that, I think.
Yeah. And because you've been waiting for it for so long as well, there would have been just that moment of like, oh yeah, this is what I joined for.
Yeah, that's right. Anytime we did something with weapons or even the fighting, things like that, as much as that was quite intimidating to start with, that was what we joined for. That's what everyone joins infantry for, or joins for, I feel. That's when it felt like real army, where actually you knew you were going to get hurt, you were sore, but it just, it was rewarding, I feel anyway. Built a lot of confidence.
No, awesome. Yeah, that's good. Well, week 2, so we'll move on to some of the struggles that you had, a bit of pressure and stuff. So week 2 sounded pretty rough. You had your weapons testing, your medical stuff. What was going through your head during that time?
Get out of here. What am I doing here? And that's the truth. I don't know how many times I said to the boys in the room, I said, what am I doing? This is so stressful. It was back-to-back testing. It was lesson after lesson. It was just hostile. And I put probably more pressure on myself than I needed to, because even though we had a certain amount of terms, I wanted to get it in 2 or 3. I didn't want to take 5, or I didn't want to fail, because they kept throwing around the idea that if you failed, you had to come back to Kapooka.
Yeah.
And that was terrifying to everyone. So, which, if you have to, you have to. Once you've finished it, you'd consider it. But at that time, you're like, no way. No, I'm just hanging in here. Yeah. So, yeah, just the pressure of the med, it was a lot to take in. I've done a lot of advanced first aid in my time in emergency response, and that's a breeze compared to what we get taught, which is amazing, because I learned so much deeper than just the basic CPR or advanced resus. I remember when one of the boys come back and he goes, I failed CPR at our RIC a few months back. I said, how did you fail CPR? As soon as I got there, the first day, I went, that's how he failed. There's so much to it in the catchwords, and so that was quite stressful. I nearly gave up. And then when my room had the exact same thing, I thought, okay, so it's not just me. And then I started to open up more to other people, and they're like, yeah, we're done. We're checking out. We've had enough. We sort of kept each other in line. But then when I woke up the second day and in week 2 and still felt the same, that's when the boys pulled together, and they were just like, nah, you've got this. Just relax. You can do this. You've done it before. You knew it. Yes. So if I come back up and I'd failed that time for weapons, it would make me feel better. And it was really funny, because one of the boys ironed my shirt, and then he ironed what he thought was his shirt. Then he realized it was actually mine. It was in his cupboard. So I got 2 shirts ironed for nothing. Oh, it worked out well.
Awesome.
Yeah,
definitely looking out for each other by the sounds of it.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely.
So it was the weapons side of things that was a big struggle for you, was it? So you failed that a couple of times. What were you struggling with that?
The catchwords. So
Yeah.
the order is so what do you call it? Like important the way you do it.
Mm.
It's just, and if you miss the catchwords, that's enough for a fail. And there's so much to remember because between weapons, we had all that med as well. So I've got a week's worth of med crammed in my brain. And then we did a couple of days of weapons. Then we went back to med. Then we went back to weapons. So I didn't know what was going on at
Yeah.
one stage there. And little things that tripped me up. And I was so frustrated with things that I hadn't failed the attempt before. I was so focused on what I'd failed that I did something else that was wrong. So
Yeah.
yeah, just not major things, just minor, but it was enough.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah,
Just focusing on this, on the other stuff, and then the other things slip.
Yeah,
It's
I did the
pain
same
in
with
the
med
arse.
too. I was so focused on one aspect of med that I completely skipped a whole letter that was quite important. When and I realized as soon as I'd done it, and man, I looked at the corporal and I was like, all right, I get it. So I knew I failed. He didn't have to say anything. So.
Yeah. So yeah, with your weapon side of things, was there anything that helped you on that last attempt to get you through, or was it just a matter of just keep going, just keep doing it, and eventually you just got through it?
The boys in the room. So we were doing just, with our hands, just going through the routine, the ones that had already passed it. And then if I forgot something there, they're like, no, you missed this step. Your little things like that when you had and then you had a revision for another test. So just taking more notice on listening more, focusing more, not being so caught up in failing, actually taking in what they're saying. But then once you do all the testing and you get to the range, it all makes sense. And it's like, how did I even fail that?
Yeah.
Because their thing, I guess too, because I'm not really familiar with firearms. I haven't had any experience with them.
Mm-hmm.
So how they all work when they break it down is obviously quite simple to people that shoot. But I was like, oh man, how am I supposed to remember all this? Is there a round in the chamber? Like, I don't know. It's just double cocking it for no reason and just little things.
Just to make sure.
Yeah, just was stupid. But yeah, once I got out and I was shooting, I didn't make any mistakes. So it's good.
Yeah.
Training help.
Yeah. And eventually you do it so many times because I was one that I'd never touched a weapon until I'd been there. And especially in the way that they teach you, like with all the catchwords and the regimented order and everything. But yeah, there's importance to it as you see once you get to the range. But yeah, it's just once you've done it for years on end, you can't forget it. Like as soon as because I actually had this, I had this period where I hadn't even touched a weapon because I went on long service and I was transferring from full-time over to the reserves. I hadn't touched a weapon for ages. And I was like, fuck, I'm not even going to remember how to do this thing. As soon as you pick it up, it's just like, boom, straight into your head again. It's like riding a bike. It never goes away.
It was
I don't think you'll be able to forget it.
No, and not the amount of reps that you're doing as well.
Yeah.
I think with the whole armory thing, I remember when we first got them, I didn't even know how to hold it properly. I've never held a rifle, especially not in the way you're shown. And then by the time you hand it back at the end, it's second nature. Clearing it before you come in the building, all that sort of stuff. So I noticed that change, which was good.
Yeah, for sure. Do you reckon you would have got through all that if you didn't have your team there?
I honestly don't know. I think I would have struggled a lot more. I think if I was the oldest guy in a room for the younger boys, although I don't know, as I said, we had a really good platoon. So, I mean, there was guys there that were like 19, 20 that were, especially with med, were coming over and helping myself and some other people that were struggling with certain catchwords or whatever. So I don't really know, to be honest. Yeah. I think I probably would have bailed if I failed. I probably would have said, "No, get me out of here," and I wouldn't have had the age of the guys and the life experience where they're like, "No, to stick it out." So yeah, honestly, I'm not too sure.
Yeah,
I reckon it wouldn't have been as enjoyable. Would have been tougher, especially if I was in a room with the boys that were just getting hammered the whole time. Falling asleep in class and talking when the sergeant's talking, just stuff you do when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is common sense to an adult, but obviously not. Yeah.
All right, let's get into some funny moments. So you've got a fair few there. So run us through the bush hat and the rubber incident first.
Bush hat and when we were doing training, you're running for your life and they're telling you to bring out all this random stuff. You're changing clothes and you've got a minute, sometimes 3 minutes, but then they'll give you 4 or 5 things to carry or put on your head, different pockets to put it in and grab stuff. And the first retraining, I went to my stationery and grabbed the rubber because that's what I heard. And I walked down into the hallway and everyone was holding a shoe. And I just went, oh, you dickhead. So I quietly put it in my pocket so I didn't look like a complete idiot. And I was standing there and obviously got nailed for not having the runner, but I had everything else sweet. Because there was guys there that had the runner but weren't even dressed properly. Then when I went back into the room, I pulled it out and I showed the boys and they just thought it was the best thing ever. They said, runner, not rubber, you idiot. So I was just, yeah.
It's awesome. Yeah. You got to learn to listen and like actually listen to what they're saying very quickly and once. And, yeah, you get pretty good at that. They'll be barking orders and you got to capture that in that first instance. Because if you don't, you run around not knowing what the fuck to do.
And it helps if at least one person in your room knows what's going on too, which is good. We'd be like echoing, all right, what else do we need? What else do we need? Grabbing it and taking off. Whereas some of those rooms, they were coming out with the most random shit. Or they'd come out with like one sock on, pants but no shirt, or a shirt. The best one was shirt but no pants. And he's like, where are your pants?
Yeah, good. Awesome. Well, you had a bit of a brass piece incident as well.
Yeah. They get everything to put on your bed, which you know what's going to happen. But we've got these little brass T pieces and they make you put them on your bed. So you put them on the bed and then it's like, all right, you've got 5 seconds to get your sheets off. So I ripped my sheets, flung them, and they went flying. And it sounded like a pokey machine. There was tings everywhere. Everyone's shit went flying. And I went out. Anyway, that was all done. But then I couldn't find it. And I thought, I'm going to the admin line for sure. So I went to the corporal and I said, I can't find the brass piece. And he goes, well, we haven't done anything. We're not messing with you. It's in there somewhere. We turned that room upside down 3 or 4 times by mid-morning. Then we had to march. We were marching all day. We were on the parade ground. We were doing all kinds of random shit, lessons. And my foot was getting sore. And I'm like, maybe I'm just getting a blister on my foot. So anyway, we come back to get ready for a shower. And as soon as I took my boot off, I just seen this gold shimmer and just lost it. I said, you idiot. Was a few other swear words. And I picked it up and I said to the boys, there's where my piece was. It was sitting in front of my big toe the whole day. I'd marched everywhere with it. It rubbed like half a hole in my toe. And I was like, we can't tell anyone about that. Obviously, my room told everyone, so they thought it was great. And then on the Saturday before we left, we got to admit to things we'd done that were stupid. And when I told the corporal that I'd asked, if I could have another one or where was it, he was losing it. I thought it was funny.
Yeah, that's good. Bloody hell. You had one also about, this is a classic, spelling your name wrong.
Oh, yeah. Do you know that I've got that towel at home? It's actually my shaving towel in our ensuite because I just think it's the best thing ever. So on the first day, we had to stencil our shirts. One of the guys stenciled one side of his shirt, folded it, what he thought turned it over, stenciled it again. So it had his last name twice. So he got called that for the whole thing. And I thought, what a dickhead. Then I think it was not even 3 or 4 days before we left, I was going through my stuff and realized that I'd spelt my own name wrong on my shaving towel for the whole 3 weeks. I missed the D off the end of Clifford like an absolute dickhead. And as soon as I showed the guys, I'm like, I always do stupid shit in 3s. And that was the 3rd thing. So yeah, I was relieved it was over.
Good.
It's easy to do because when they say concurrent activities and they give you a list of 20 things you've got to do, you don't know if you've got 3 minutes or an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And that's the stressful thing. So you're stenciling flat out. There's shit flying everywhere. No one knows where the rulers, the markers, the stencils, anything is, because you think, oh crap, like I might only have 5 minutes to do my name. So you're rushing it.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden an hour's gone by and you had time. So you never really knew what you're in for.
Yeah.
And
that's it.
It shows.
Yeah, you make silly little mistakes. Like the classic one with shirts is not putting the cardboard in between and like the right when it goes across the other side. So you don't.
I did the dumb one with the socks. I don't know what I was thinking, but I wrote my name on the top of the sock. Like
on the outside or the inside?
Yeah, on the outside. Like an absolute wanker. You're supposed to write it on the foot. So I had one sock that had Clifford on the top of it, and then the other had, I just went, why? What were you thinking? And it rubbed through to the other side too, and I said, oh. Yeah.
Oh, at least you couldn't miss them.
No. There was a few times actually that most of us were wearing, we'd have one of our old name and one of our roommates' name on our feet, because you didn't know how much time you had for washing, so you're rushing and it's just a free-for-all.
Yeah. Grab what you can. Yeah.
Actually, the best one was we went into the SALs, and one of the guys goes to one of my roommates. He goes, "Why have you got Clifford's shirt on?" So he'd been in my PT shirt for the whole day. Had no idea till the end of the day. So there were 2 Cliffords in the bathroom.
Bloody hell. Awesome. Well, let's get into some improved standards and a bit of personal growth. So one thing you said that stood out, you're coming home and remaking your bed because it wasn't good enough.
Yeah. So camp, they make our beds, and I mean, they're amazing. And I got in here and I just went, this looks like shit. It didn't. It was perfect. But I straightened the bed and I caught myself doing it. So I got in our chat and I went, guess who just fixed the bed like an idiot? Went down, folded sharp edges in, just little things like that. Even at home, my partner makes the bed amazing. And I straightened it. She goes, what are you doing? I said, I don't know. Yeah, just things like that. My socks are still smiley faces. Like it's
I still do that.
Yeah. I noticed because I went back to work like 12 hours after I'd left Kapooka, pretty much flew home and went back the next day to finish the swing. And I noticed even marching, I was locking my arms in on the stairs, just all the crap that you're told to do down there. It sticks with you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's funny when you're out of Kapooka or any, like, especially when you go through like all training establishments and stuff, and then you're out and say you're doing a pump crawl or something with your mates that are also in, and all of a sudden you're walking down the street, you're all in step.
Yeah, that was us on leave day. We got off the bus and 2 of us jumped in step, and the third one went behind, and the boys behind us pulled us up and said, what are you doing? And my favorite one was, the ecosystem.
Yeah.
So we're at a coffee shop and the lady calls out the order, and every one of us said the order, and then we started laughing, and I went, wow, you would not do that at a coffee shop in the city. People would look at you funny. But out there, it just felt normal. We're all repeating the order, so everyone heard what was said. It was the lock in the arm. I find myself doing it here all the time.
Yeah,
which is against all of our health and safety stuff we get taught here, like 3 points of contact, running up 3 flights of stairs locked in. See how long it lasts. It will probably start to fade away within a few months. I relaxed on the shaving for the last 4 or 5 days, which is good, because even the first 5 days I was here, I was shaving in like a minute 20 and still cutting myself. I think one day there I timed myself and I got ready and got to the gym and shaved, and it was like 9 minutes, but I had nowhere to be. Absolutely nowhere to be. Just there.
And before you know it, that time starts to disappear, and just like, why is it taking me so long to do stuff again?
Even eating at the mess, I was smashing my food, and the guys were like, you've still got 45 minutes till we get the bus. I was done before everyone. Just little things like that, you notice that, really don't sort of leave. And the shaving thing was a big one. I even said to April, I feel disgusting. I hadn't shaved for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then I was wearing my pajamas and I said, I feel like I look homeless because obviously your shirt's got to be in there.
Yeah.
So I just dressed normally in a shirt and pants and my shirt wasn't in and I felt like I'd done something wrong.
Yeah.
So
It's a weird feeling.
yeah, it was strange. Even I think it was Sunday, might have been, Sunday or Saturday, we went to go out to the shops and I ironed a t-shirt. Never ironed a t-shirt in my life until Kapooka. Like I ironed good shirts and I had a few crinkles in the front. I said, this looks like shit. Got the iron, she comes out and goes, what are you doing? I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
Help.
Yeah. No, that I've relaxed on it a little bit lately, but I even do it, with my son and stuff. Like he'll pull out a shirt and I'm just like, give me that shirt. I've got to iron it. It's too many wrinkles in it. All right. Well, so pathway now. So reserves infantry. Firstly, how come you chose reserves instead of going full time?
Just financial, kids and lifestyle. And I've worked FIFO for a few years. So honestly, if the money was a little bit more, then I'd be happy to go full time. I don't know if I'd last 12 weeks at Kapooka. I'd have to really put in. That's that'd be a tough one. But just more a money decision at this stage.
Yeah. It's really good. You can keep your normal life and still have the army on the side. Yeah,
and I found it's dripped into my normal life anyway. You know, my attitude, my work ethic, things like that. It's sort of complemented my FIFO work a lot. And being away by myself so often, it was no issue to be there. You know, I can switch off when I need to, which is cool. A lot of people there couldn't. They struggled without the phone and the constant contact with the kids and stuff. So it's different.
Yeah, that'd definitely be benefit for you because you're already used to it. So
and the kids are used to it too, which is cool. And
good.
We still got phone time, so it worked out all right.
Yep. No, awesome. And how come you chose infantry?
Most exciting, I think. Combat engineer appealed to me, but I was worried that once they seen my resume and my background in concrete, I'd be concreting for less money in cams for the army than, what I could earn in civvy life. So I sort of didn't want to get branded in construction side of things. And Cav was one of the ones I was interested in. And someone said to me, do you want to be the target or do you want to hide and find the target? And that was someone that's been in for 4 years. And I went, that makes a lot of sense. So that sort of swapped them from 1 to 2, which is cool.
Yeah.
But
it's a good point.
It was pretty simple, but it made me think.
Yeah. Well, what's next for you with the infantry pathway? So you still got a fair few things to do to get qualified out of the Kapooka, like the recruit side of things, have you?
Yeah, we do a 9-day block. Mine's in August, so that's where we do land nav, the field, and I think we do a couple more weapons there. Then after that, my LCM is booked in for September. Yeah. So that'll be a good one. And then I think there's a heap of modules. There's a heap of online stuff. And it's going to be a pretty busy year, which is great. So looking forward to it.
No, that's it. And you can make it fit into your life as well. You get to choose when you go off and do things. It's full time. You get told you're going to do this. Yeah. All right.
Yeah, that's right. Which is good. And the unit that I went to, they're great. I marched in the other week and very supportive, very organized, and it's good. Works around my work.
Yeah, good. Well, what surprised you the most about Kapooka?
Probably the amount of information you have to take in such a little time. When we do courses at work, we get 3 days to do a 40-minute course. Something that could be jammed. 40 minutes expected to remember it, and you might learn 5 or 6 different subjects in the same day, and then the next day something completely different again. So that I think surprised me a little bit. Also how supportive everyone was, the mateship thing, that was a big surprise. And the morning routine, I knew it'd be intense, but I had no idea how it would make me feel until it happened, and I just went, wow, what is going on?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we call it getting belt fed in the army when you just belt fed all the information.
Yeah,
But like you said, it's the training is done in such a way that you can, yeah, they can do that, and you
yeah,
can still pick it up, and you still learn it, and you still become proficient with it.
and it makes sense. It all makes sense in the last week.
Yeah,
Everything that, no matter how hard everything was, everything starts to make sense. And
yeah,
then the day before you leave, they send you. Obviously, the platoon goes and sees like a psychologist, I think it is, just to make sense of everyone's feelings and what you went through and
hmm,
stuff. And that 2 hour talk, everything makes sense. There's people in there that were getting emotional. I know when I walked out, I just went, wow,
yeah,
every single feeling you've had over, nearly a month all makes sense now. And then the way you're treated and the way you're spoken to and the way everything's moved with a sense of purpose, everything, you understand everything when you leave.
yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think they could do it any different.
No, for sure. And the
In the
further
Navy.
you go, oh, sorry, cut you off. What was that?
Oh, like you were going to say, the further you go in, probably the more you would
Exactly.
understand why.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, yeah, that's it. Like the further you, the more training you do, the more you go through the ranks, and you start to really understand the workings behind everything. And yeah, and there's a clear purpose for it all. Even though when you're doing it at the time, like that first week at Kapooka, you're just like, why am I doing this bullshit
yeah,
stuff? Yeah, there's a purpose behind it.
yeah, yeah. Even just the retraining and stuff too. If you're getting, they call it retraining. It's obviously if you do silly shit, you have to get changed into different uniforms in record time. But that makes sense too, because then when it comes time to morning routine, those minutes that you've got, you're not as stressed because you might have changed 3 times in 5 minutes already. Whereas your morning routine, you've got so many minutes to only change once. So
Yeah,
little things like that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it improved our time greatly after a few retrainings.
yeah, for sure. Well, for someone older listening in to this chat and they're thinking about joining, what would you say to them?
I'd say do it. Just make sure you go there, don't have an attitude. If you're an older guy or an older female, don't go in there with an ego or an attitude because you'll get ripped apart and they'll see
Yeah.
it a mile away. There's a few experiences of that within the platoons down there that I saw, and I saw how it negatively impacted their time. Just go in with an open mind, go in fit, and if you're not already on this program, get on it because
Yeah.
don't go in there unprepared. You will get eaten alive. If you're not used to doing 20,000 steps a day, you'll break by day 3 or 4 with the marching and stuff. Because not only is it mentally challenging, but it's also physical in that aspect. If you can't stand on your feet all day without being sore or, having a breakdown, yeah, you better start training now.
Yeah. That's it. And it makes such a big difference. Just building
Huge
up a good
difference.
baseline of fitness, building
Yeah,
up that conditioning, and then you can handle that stress so much better because you got more of a threshold behind you because stress on the body, stress, whether it's physical or mental, and it's
yeah,
all happening at Kapooka.
yeah, that's right. Yeah. So you don't even have time to be sore because you're too busy worrying about if you're going to get yelled at. So
Yeah.
it's only really on leave day where you're like, oh crap, my back hurts or my ribs hurt or before that you're just pushing through it. And
Yeah.
there was a few injuries, but the guys just handled it, pushed through it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, would you say there's any sort of mistakes that people make like during their prep side of things? Like you just mentioned, probably one of them there is just not working on their fitness to start with.
Yeah, underestimating the cardio side of things.
Yeah.
Because even if you're doing a lesson, if someone be stupid, you'll run into the tree of life. That tree of life could be 50 meters away, it could be 500 meters away, but you're running in full gear around that tree, whether you did anything wrong or not. And you might do it once, you might do it 5 times, as well as what other physical training you do. So yeah, just be ready. And
Yeah.
being on your feet all day too. Our platoon was at the top of the stairs. So I feel that helped us so much by the end of it. You're
Mm.
flying up and down those stairs all day. It's just effortless by the end of it, with or without your weapon and gear on. yeah, no one was gassed. Whereas at the start, there was people struggling to carry their bags up when we first checked in.
Yeah.
So just, yeah, don't underestimate the fitness, definitely. No matter if anyone tells you it's easy, they've obviously prepped, even if they said they haven't. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, typically someone that's grown up, like going through sports and doing stuff like that, like they're already probably physically active and pretty physically fit as it is. But
yeah.
For sure. Is there anything else, like before we finish up here, is there anything else that you want to add on top? Anything that's been on your mind that you want to get across to everyone or people that are looking at joining?
Just do it. Do it, because the years will tick by and the processes, it can be so long. Some people wait 2 or 3 years. Do it now and then see if it's not for you, there's plenty of time to back out before you get there. You'll have a chance at the Rick to back out. If you can't handle the Rick, you won't survive Kapooka at all, because the Rick is so gentle and so polite and just easy. So I just feel just go for it.
Yeah, that's it. If you got it on your mind, it's like, what's the worst? You just start going through the process and it's not for you.
Yeah, and that's right. You'll know once you start getting all the official emails and all the stuff, and you have to provide all the documentation, all the things. Like, I know guys here that were so stressed out by the job interview, they get someone else to do it for them.
Yeah.
So if you can't handle that side of the army, then you don't stand a chance. A lot of paperwork, but that's all right.
There always is. Yeah. Bloody never ends. So it's got to go through 10 different hands before it actually gets to the person that it needs to go to. And
then they'll say, why didn't you just come to me? Or no, I honestly just do it. Sign up, but get your fitness sorted. You can train all the mental stuff in the world. It will help you to an extent, but if you don't know the battle breathing, like what you said, if you can't put yourself out of the situation you're in and, think clearly, start training with that stuff too.
Yeah.
Otherwise you'll fold. We found there was one part there, the first week, it sounds stupid, but you're so stressed, you're trying to put thongs on your feet and you almost have to bend down and open your feet yourself because your body just shuts down because it's in, fight or flight mode. Your heart's racing. You can feel your blood pressure through the roof. And all of a sudden your toes don't work for your thongs, or you can't dress yourself. You can't do a button up. So start practicing putting yourself in situations that are uncomfortable, ice baths, all that sort of crap I think it'll all make a big difference in the end. Yeah.
And it's the sort of stuff that, like you said, you see all the purpose at the end of the course. And like putting yourself through all that sort of stuff. Now you'll probably go through it like, oh, this is probably not going to help that much. But then when it helps, you'll know it.
Oh, definitely. The breathing with the shooting when you're in the prone position, you don't realize holding your breath, what an effect that will have on your shots. It's a massive difference in your groupings. And that was all part of the battle breathing as well. Just being able to relax without snatching the trigger and all those sort of things. So I keep telling people, like, sign up to your program because it works. And the support that you get, the WhatsApp group that we've got with the other coaches and the people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
You can't put a price on that stuff, honestly. I've learned so much just from the boys that you're coaching already. For the last year, guys that have come and gone through recruitment, guys that have been in there for a few years. Price on that.
Nah, definitely. And I've been seeing you posting up all your stuff in there too. So you're on the other end helping others out.
Yeah. Even in the signal chats, they're going crazy with the people at the Rick now. Like, all right, what do I need?
Yeah.
And I'll tell them the little things that I wish someone had told me. But obviously not everything. You got to experience it for yourself. But when I think someone you interviewed, one of the last interviews you done where he said he was redlining from the time he got off the bus.
Yeah.
That's 100%. Like it's, So breathing comes in handy.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, Cam, mate, really appreciate you jumping on board and sharing your full experience. And I'm sure a lot of people out there Also appreciate you doing it, especially, you know, those people that are looking at it later in life, because I get it all the time, you know, people don't think that they can join when they're 35, 40, into their 50s even, but it's available for everyone.
And that's your videos helped me too. When I think it was Gal that was 58 that went through. When there was times there where when I said I wanted to quit, I'm like, what am I doing? You know, other people way older than me with way less experience in different roles got through it. So just suck it up.
That's it.
You can do it. Yeah, don't doubt yourself.
Yep, for sure. No, good advice there. Awesome. Well, Cam, thanks again, mate. Been a big help for a lot of people out there. And for anyone that's out there listening and you are getting yourself ready for Kapooka, thinking about joining, like we've been chatting about and Cam's been talking about, reach out to me. I've got the fit for service training plan that's designed specifically for this. You'll go through different stages, building up your fitness level, and it's all tailored to your fitness as well. It's not just a cookie cutter program where you're just going to get the same as everyone else. You're going to get training that's relevant for you, where you're at. So I get it all the time, like beginners like, I want to train a little bit before I come and start with you. That's not the way it works. Jump on now, because getting you started as soon as we can will get you in a better position. Because like Cam said, you know, the time starts to tick away and you don't want to get to that point where you're on the bus or getting off the bus and you think, shit, I wish I'd done more. You know, it's too late by that point.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you are keen to at least learn a bit about it, get in contact with me. I'm on Instagram. You can comment on YouTube there. I'll also chuck a link to the training plan in all the descriptions where I post this out there, and especially on YouTube. So feel free to reach out at any point and I'll help you all out. But Cam, thanks, mate, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Yeah, thank you very much.